celebrating your New Year's Eve with us today. We have a very special guest for you who's about to share some of your music. We are pleased to welcome singer-songwriter Amanda Munro. Welcome to the show, Amanda. So Amanda, tell us, where are you right now?
I'm in Denver, Colorado.
You're in Denver, Colorado. Wow, well, thank you for joining us from Colorado. So I hear that you recently released two singles, did a studio album. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, thank you so much. This summer I went to Nashville and I recorded my first EP called Clean Slate, and I released two songs from that EP this fall and winter, and I'm going to release the full EP in January.
Wow, congratulations. So what led you to this point? Tell us a little bit about your musical background and how you got here.
Well, I've been singing my entire life, and I've been playing music. I learned the guitar about 7 years ago, 8 years ago, and I started writing songs, but I never thought that I could make a career out of it. And I just started playing in bars and restaurants and doing a lot of gigs, and people gave me a lot of really good feedback. And so I decided, you know what, maybe I'll just record an album. I have all these songs, and people keep asking me where so I decided to go for it.
So Amanda is going to share a couple of her songs with us later today, but before we get there, what are some of the musical inspirations that you've had in your life, or what sources do you draw from in your songwriting and your singing?
I think one for Carlisle. I love her so much. I love her lyrics. I love her voice. So I definitely get a lot of inspiration from her. My childhood inspiration was John Denver. So I definitely still really look up to him. Also, his lyrics, the artist that I admire a lot.
So your sound is cutting out a little bit earlier there. Can you repeat who that first artist was?
Yeah, it was Brandy Carlisle.
Ah, Brandy Carlisle. I love her music as well. Definitely. And what about your songwriting? So do you draw from your personal experiences, or what is your process when you're writing your music?
It's all personal. All of my songs are very personal and very emotional, which I think is part of it. Art requires. So I talk about what I've had in my life, um, and my process is random. Usually, I will be feeling a lot of emotions, and then the lyric will come up in my head, melody, and kind of ruminate on it for a few months, and then later I'll back up and write the songs. So that's usually how it goes. It's pretty random.
All right, that's awesome. Well, let's get a taste of your music and go to that first song that we're going to play. All right, here we go.
The best damn cure for a broken heart is get the hell out of Dodge and make a new start. Once upon a time, this Beck and I had a 3-year thing. 3 years too many, if you know what I mean. I wanted an adventure, but he said I'd never do it. Bought a one-way ticket, I was up before we knew it. And then I left a mail Because the best damn cure for a broken heart is get the hell out of Dodge and make a new start. Memories disappear in the rearview mirror. Let the wind through the window drop my tears. You know my trusty remedy for a case of heartbreak. Leave that town and hit the highway. The only things I'm taking with me are my dog and my scars and whatever else fits in the back of my car. You know it's never too late for a clean, clean slate.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that song with us today. I absolutely loved the lyrics and about getting a fresh start. Can you tell us a little bit about what inspired you to write that song specifically?
Yeah, that song is called Clean Slate, and it's the first single I released this year. It's a pretty fun song. I was inspired to write it when I was on the phone with actually somebody who I had dated in the past and telling that person about how I had moved across the country yet again. And he was like, "Well, it's kind of your MO, isn't it?" And I thought, yeah, you know what, it is. And so I wrote this song about how, whenever I get my heart broken, I end up either moving across the country or going to another country. But it's not just about that. It's also really what it's about, I think, is just giving yourself permission to start over when you need to.
Yeah, it sounds very cathartic for you to put your thoughts and emotions into the music, and maybe it can also help other people who listen to it have a similar kind of realization or to find solidarity with you in that moment. So I absolutely love that. To go on a slightly different track, I know that you have played some Spanish songs before and that you also speak Spanish. Can you tell me a little bit about how and if that informs your music making?
Yeah, so you're right. I do Spanish. I've traveled extensively. I was living in Mexico pretty recently last year until the coronavirus pandemic hit. And I love music in Spanish. I especially love Mexican music, and I just think that the lyrics are so evocative and so unapologetic, and that's something that I definitely try to incorporate in my own songwriting.
I love that kind of honesty in your music. So, you're going to play another song for us here today before we go. Can you tell us a little bit about that one?
Sure. So this one is called Sound of Heartbreak. It is not released yet. It will be released as part of the full EP in January. And this one is one that I wrote while I was currently in a relationship. And it basically describes the heartbreak that comes with being in a codependent relationship that you know is not good for you. So I hope that you can relate to it.
All right, well, let's take a listen.
Nothing hurts more than the subtle shift of your body as you turn towards the wall. Your face tilted away from me, saying nothing at all. And nothing stings more than the The sound of heartbreak is a deafening silence, the gentle click of a closing door. It's the rustle of sheets as you turn your back to me. Words left unspoken fall to the floor. The sound of heartbreak is soft as snowflakes, empty words falling on deaf ears. It's the plummeting feeling I did something wrong again. Anxiety bursting, swallowing tears. Is it me? Is it me? Well, it must be me. Is it true? Is it true? If you only knew, if I could, I would prove to you. Just trust me, just love me, just tell me the truth. Is it me? Is it me? Well, it must be me. Is it true? Is it true? If you only knew, if I could, I would prove to you. Just trust me, just love me, just tell me the truth. 'Cause the sound of heartbreak is a deafening silence. The silence is killing me. 'Cause the sound of heartbreak is a deafening silence. The silence is killing me. 'Cause the sound of heartbreak is a deafening silence. The gentle click of a closing door. It's the rustle of sheets as you turn your back to me. Words left unspoken fall to the floor.
Togetherness Media. Togethernessmedia.com.
Thank you so much for sharing that song with us. The lyrics were especially poignant. So that is a song that you haven't released yet. So for people that are interested in hearing more of your music, please go to Amanda's Spotify. You can look her up at Amanda Munro for the rest of her EP album. And her link to her website is in the bar below. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Amanda.
Thank you so much for having me. It's really fun.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's.